Before we begin today's episode, we would like to share a quick disclaimer. The views, opinions, and statements expressed by the hosts and guests on this podcast are their own personal views and are provided in their own capacity. All content is editorial, opinion-based, and intended for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Ange, I got a question for you.
Hey, Kyle. Hit me with your question.
Jesus, that was so fucking pretentious. It was so fucking... Anywho. I honestly can't wait to hear your answer on this one, because this is going to be kind of fun.
All right, got it.
What do you get when you mix crippling spite, unlimited audacity, absolute zero fear of death, and throw it onto a ship with a bunch of pissed off revolutionaries?
Well, except for that last part, I was going to say me on a random Thursday, but yeah, I don't know. Definitely, I know we're talking, like, this is our month of America, so I kind of want to say George Washington, but I know that's not right.
So close, but abso-fucking-lutely not.
Okay. Who?
What are you, a fucking owl? Who? John Paul motherfucking Jones.
John Paul Jones. I should have known it.
You should, because I said it like 4 times in like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Anywho, and before anybody asks, no, not John Paul Jones from John Paul Jones. I'm talking about the angry Scottish sea goblin who became America's first naval psychopath.
Just our first?
He was our very,
first?
very first naval psychopath. And actually, fun little fact that we'll get into a little bit. He was one of the, because I think there was like 7 or 8 of them at the time. He was one of the very first American naval officers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he got the job because he was fucking unhinged, insanely violent, and had a deep burning hatred for the Brits.
I mean, that's very on brand for this country.
It checks out. And the fun thing, he wasn't even American. Technically, nobody was at the time. Because remember that. Everyone thinks of the American revolutionaries or the people who were like born and raised here. Most of them were like British defectors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, Washington fought for the British Army. Like, all his generals fought for the British Army. Like, they're just like, fuck you guys.
Treasonous bastards.
Hell yeah. America. Anyhow.
Okay.
Born in 1747 in Scotland forever.
Yeah, but you didn't do it. I really expected you. I'm so disappointed.
Hey. We just started the fucking episode.
I know, but you've already you know what I'm saying. You should have done it.
You think this is the only date I have?
Okay.
You think this is the most important thing with the date attached to it I have for the whole episode? Is when I was fucking born? Do me a favor. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and enjoy the goddamn ride.
Okay. Yes, sir.
But at the same time, though, don't shut up because we need a little bit of back and forth here because otherwise it's going to be me reading off bullet points.
I promise I won't fall asleep.
Well, yeah, it's not Halo. It's actually about a violent Scotsman. I have a feeling... Fuck it, I'm going to say it. I have a feeling that just by his actions alone, John Paul Jones is going to become a hear me out. I'm just...
Yeah, do we have any paintings of him? Do we know what he looked like? Was he hot?
I mean, there's just paintings of him, so, like, pretty sure. Let me see if I can actually send one to you right now. Oh. And no, like I said, it's not John Paul Jones, the, like, singer. The, like, really ugly singer from, like, the 60s or the 70s.
John Paul Jones Navy. That's what I need to look up.
Yeah, I think he was the one that people thought was...
Okay.
This is the most famous picture of him. He kind of reminds me of a little bit, unfortunately. A lot of the pictures of him, or his most notable pictures of him, looks a lot like, what the hell's his name? Jason Isaacs' character from The Patriot.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, Jason Isaacs from The Patriot, like, all right, we're talking about Jason Isaacs here. That's a handsome man. But his character in that movie is one that I fucking deeply despise. He's a fucking bastard in that movie.
Yeah, okay, so the paintings that I'm seeing, like, he's not...
So I just sent two to you. The black and white one was propaganda, and the colored one is his most famous picture from his famous one of his more famous battles. Those are his most known pictures.
Okay, so the black and white is propaganda?
That one's propaganda. He did not actually have a skull and crossbones and all that other kind of horrendous shit.
If he really looked like that, now that's a hear me out. That's kind of like a hell
I mean, well, like the only stuff that they kind of overdid was like the skull and crossbones because they were painting him as a pirate. Because you will find out he essentially was.
Yeah, but like, but the second picture, you know, I mean,
the second one definitely captures the type of person he was. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. The second one is much more, I feel, at least personality accurate.
Okay, so yeah, he may be a hear me out, maybe. Okay, proceed.
Okay, anywho. 47 in Scotland. At the time, he was just born John Paul. There was no Jones. I don't know if, like, Scotland at the time was literally that poor they couldn't afford three names or that he just didn't have a last name, but he was literally just John Paul. And John Paul, not Sean Paul.
John Paul. Do we know when he picked up the Jones?
We do.
Okay.
I don't know if I actually have the date, but he does. I don't think I actually have the date written down here, but yeah. It's
interesting.
It was really, really smart. But yeah, no, I actually have parentheses. He adds that later. Not a whole bunch is. No, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. A little bit like Jesus. Not a whole lot is known between like his birth and then when he's like roughly a young man. So we're talking probably 20-ish years. Is just kind of like, he was just some Scottish schmuck, I'm assuming.
Yeah, okay.
Not a whole lot is there. Because nothing gets spicy until he becomes a merchant sailor. Becomes a merchant sailor, and he is very bored. He doesn't like this. You're just kind of sailing around. So, back before there was, like Amazon one day shipping overseas and whatnot, you had, you were sailing and selling your shit back and forth. It was really bored. He did not like it. Somehow he got duped into one of British shameful pastimes of slave trade, and that didn't sit too good with him. In some of his like letters he was writing, his diaries and all that kind of shit, journals and whatnot, he would say that some of his, after the wars or whatever, that some of his greatest regrets was that he didn't act sooner upon working on the slave ships because, like he was one young guy. He can't exactly start like freeing these slaves off of these ships because he would just be dead.
Right.
So, but it never sat well with him. He thought it was an absolute atrocious thing. He never was okay with slavery. So, score 1 for John Paul Jones of us liking him. Then finally one day he was just like, you know what? I am completely done with this. I'm going to start doing whatever the fuck I want. So this man is now making his wage as a merchant sailor, but he's also taking a little bit off the top. He's skimming some of the money. He's like, you know what? Fuck the British. I'm just going to take some of the money they're making for selling the people and selling all the stuff. So he's literally embezzling money from the British Empire for all their goods that they're sailing. Was it at that point he actually ends up getting his own ship? So he's done with that. He's skimmed enough money that he's actually able to captain his own ship. So now he becomes a privateer or a merchant for the British himself. So now he's the captain. So he's the one that people would be afraid of being killed if they're doing things like that, right? But nevertheless, he still goes to Britain. He's sailing for the Britons, and they're telling him, like, okay, take our goods and bring them over there, eh? And he goes, okay, fine, cool. If it was slaves, he immediately is like, hey, here's what's going to happen. I'm not going to bring you to where they're telling me to. Where do you want to go? Because that's where we're going to go. And they were like, huh? He goes, yeah, no. So he would, like, as soon as they, like, got out of port with an earshot of, like, the customs agents and shit like that, he just freed them all and was just like, where do you want to go? You want to go home? Where's home? Tell me where to go. We'll set a course. And he was just freeing slaves. He's like, what are they going to do? Fucking stop me? It's one ship in the middle of the fucking ocean. I said, I'm just going to hey, dude, you were expected here 2 weeks ago. What the fuck? Hey, there was a storm. Like,
right. Right.
We got lost because, it's the fucking 1700s. I don't got goddamn GPS yet. Magellan wasn't born for us to name a GPS after him. Yeah. My bad. I went the wrong way. He was literally just freeing slaves. Like, didn't give a fuck.
Nice.
And because of that, he made an insane amount of allies all throughout the world. He was starting to make a lot of enemies too, so like that wasn't sitting too good with his crew. But then at the same time, though, it's the word against a couple of like sailors against like the captain, and same thing. I mean, we're talking like forging documents, like, oh yeah, no, they were delivered, and so like same thing. He was like making friends with like harbor masters and shit like that. Like, so he's bringing like he's like freeing slaves, and then like the tribesmen people, they're giving him like more goods and like money and shit like that. Like they're literally just throwing gold at him for it as like a thank you, and he's then reinvesting that and like bribing port masters, so when they show up, they're forging the documents. Like, yeah, he delivered the slaves. Big whoop. Want to fight about it? Like,
Yeah. Right.
It's fantastic. So he's already starting to like corrupt from within. But it doesn't really, that gig lasts like a couple of years, and then one of his sailors, it lets him know that he's going to shoot his mouth off, and so before he can shoot his mouth off, John Paul Jones just shoots him. It was like his.
See,
it was like
don't
his
hesitate.
first. It was like his first mate, and his first mate was like, "Hey, we're taking over the ship because you're freeing the slaves, and like slaves are cool." And John Paul Jones was like, "No, they're not. It's actually pretty fucked up. Like, just do your own work, you lazy bastards." And they were like, "We're gonna tell the king," and they're just like, "Tell him with an extra hole in your head." He said, "Huh?" Bang! Killed his first mate. Needless to say, the UK was PO'd, so he effed off ASAFP. Okay?
Yeah.
This is where the Jones comes in. So like he kills his first mate. Great Britain is like, arrest that man for killing his first mate and for getting rid of all the slaves. And he was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to Virginia. And just runs away to the New World. Just runs away to the colonies.
Okay.
Sets up shop in Virginia. And respawns as the very elusive, because no one will find him, under the name of John Paul Jones.
Hey, we're looking
for John Paul. I don't know you talk about John Paul Jones. Like, what? Like, that's literally all it was. I was like, oh, no, we're looking for John Paul, not John Paul Jones. It can't be this guy.
Right.
Like, what? That's how fucking easy it was, by the way. Only, like, 50 years ago, you can just, like, go 2 or 3 states over. Not even, like, 2 or 3 towns over, and then just, like, start a new fucking life. And, like, no one was going to look for you. Like, imagine how easy it was then. He literally just sailed across the ocean. They were like, oh, he's across the ocean. Yeah, fuck that. That's a lot of goddamn water. Fuck it. It's like, no, I'm leaving that alone.
I'm
like,
still
fuck it.
cracking up at that. John,
What?
they're looking for John Paul in.
He's like, no,
No.
John Paul Jones.
No.
Like, all right. Nothing to see here. We're looking for John Paul. You know
What's
what I
your
mean?
name? John Paul Jones. Oh, wait, we're looking for John Paul. Never mind.
Exactly. You look exactly like this man as he's been described to us, and you even sound like him. No, it can't be me. What? He goes, who are you looking for? John Paul? Oh, dude, it happens all the time. You're looking for John Paul? Yeah, John Paul Jones. John Paul's the next town over. Oh, so terrible. Sorry, it's a lovely day. Bob's your uncle. Like, and they just, like, scurry away where the fuck. Like, what? It just made me, when I first found out about that, honestly, I knew that he did that one before I saw the movie Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite scene in that movie is when, what the hell's her name? Aquafina's in that one, right? And so he goes like, my name's not Sean. So it's, my name's not Sean Chi. He goes, it's Sung Chi. Like he says, I'm so sorry if I've offended the entire country of China on that one. I don't know the way he actually, but he essentially just says like Sean Chi with like a Mandarin accent. And she literally is just like, you're hiding from your international immortal father, and your best disguise was going from Sean to Shun. Was going from Shun to Sean. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. That's all I thought of, because wait, you're hiding from literally the British Empire, and you just changed your name from John Paul to John Paul Jones, and you're just like, it worked, didn't it?
Oh, you know what? The British had it coming. I mean,
they did.
They're that
because
dumb.
Fuck them. Like, fuck them. They get a couple good things from them, but let's face it, right now at this point in history, they're kind of bastards.
Yeah.
Like this is like the peak of colonizing. Like they are. There's a lot of genocide going on right now all over the fucking world. There's a lot of chopped off hands. There's a lot of slaves.
Yeah.
Right now, fuck the British Empire. So anyway, he's now hiding in Virginia. And the American Revolution starts. And he was like, wait a minute. You mean those dipshits from across the way? We're kicking their asses over here too? Yeah. One question. Yeah. Where the fuck do I sign?
Yeah, sign me up.
And he was immediately like, yes. And he was like, now my second question. They're like, yeah, what's up? Where's your fucking navy? We ain't got no navy. We ain't got no boats. You got canoes and vibes. That's it.
Canoes
we ain't
and
got
vibes.
shit. Have you seen the size of their fucking... You know what they got on those boats? Things called cannons. You know what cannons are? Fucking dangerous. They got a lot of them. We ain't got none. And they're like, well, what are we going to do? He goes, this is exactly what you're going to do. You're just gonna let me do my thing. You're not gonna ask any fucking questions. That's it. There's gonna be no such thing as rules of engagement and no, conduction of a gentleman. I think it's what rules of engagement are called. I was like, yeah. He goes like, I'm gonna fucking do what I want, and you're just not gonna ask any questions. Capiche? And you're like, we don't know what any of that means, but sure, go ahead. But all seriously, at this point in the 1700s, the British Navy was the fucking British goddamn Navy.
Right.
It was the strongest navy in history until the Pacific Fleet in World War II. The British Navy was undefeated and an absolute. The only thing that came close to it was the Spanish Armada. But guess what stopped the Spanish Armada? The fucking British Navy.
Right.
Like, it's... I can't even come up with a funny enough joke about, like, how fucking serious, like, it was. Try to think of, like... Yeah, try to think of, like, an actual, like, ancient navy. Oh god, what was it? The Great Heathen Army of Ragnar Lothbrok went up against the actual American Navy nowadays.
Yeah.
That's how fucking outgunned we are.
Right. Wow.
So they say, okay, we're looking for volunteers. And the man actually stands up and goes, I volunteer for violence. And that's when he says, like, I'll get us a navy. This is where it gets great.
Okay. Yes, tell me everything.
This is where it starts. His first act of acquiring a navy sails across the Atlantic in, like, one of the ships, by the way, that he stole to come to America in the first place. Right. Stole a British vessel.
He's going to have to steal, like, a whole fleet because there's not enough time to build. Okay,
that's exactly what this man fucking did. He goes across the way. He goes off of the coast of Ireland? I think he goes to Ireland. And he steals a ship from there. From there, he then takes it to France to get, like, outfitted, rearmored, reset, and so on. And anytime this man is traveling, this man had no downtime. He had a lot of side quests. On any of his travels, if you saw a British ship, he was fighting that bitch. It was hands on sight. All the time. I'm not kidding. If he's sailing across the way, he's just blowing up ships. If he's not sinking them, god damn it, he's slowing them down a little bit. He is freeing slaver ships. He's freeing the slaves. Most of them are volunteering. He goes, listen, I could either take you home when I'm done with what my shit is, or you fight for me, like, you can get paid. And they were like, all right, where do we sign? So he's now just, like, kind of amassing his own army, his own fleet at this point. Goes to Ireland, gets his flagship, brings it back to France to get rearmed, resettled, you know, all that kind of fun shit. And proceeds to just raid all around Great Britain. Because on his way over, he had this awesome idea, and he sent himself, like, a letter back. He goes, I have this great idea. We're getting attacked by the British, right? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, like, the British can't attack us if there isn't Britain, right?
Right.
Literally, he takes the fight to them. That's when he goes over. Now he's just raiding ports and towns and villages. He's literally just, like, sneak attack. He is just, like, popping in, blowing shit up, going to the next one. Popping in, blowing shit up, going to the next one. These are pirate tactics. He was an actual pirate. But because he did it in a uniform and he fought for the winning side of the war, he's labeled as like a patriot and like a
Yeah,
hero and so on and so forth. If he
hero,
was
yeah.
British, we need to exactly see what it is. This man is rolling into town. He's blowing shit up. He's taking their goods, and he's doing whatever the hell he wants. He is a pirate. It's exactly what he's doing. So that's why there was that picture that I said that was like propaganda of him. This
Yeah.
is a scourge that's out there and so on and so forth. This is this barbaric man and so on and so forth. That's why they put the skull and the crossbones and they labeled him a pirate. And so that is the only way. There is no, if you ever come across this man, there is no quarter given. There is no surrender. You kill every single one of them. He is a pirate. So they have like a kill order on, not a kill capture order. It is kill John Paul Jones on sight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, mwah. All the while also, he is now just massing his armada and his army. At this point, subtlety and stealth has completely left the group chat. They've just, all right, we're done. He's going to keep doing what he wants. Now, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Picture this.
There it is.
Whitehaven, England, 1778. It's a Tuesday. Probably around dusk, maybe twilight. It's twilight.
Okay. Picturing it.
Yes. Blackbirds singing. Maybe some bats. Whatever the hell roasted pheasant horse shit that your wife is overcooked and is disgusting is still burning on the cobblestones. You go out to your window to realize what a shitty life you have. And then all of a sudden, you see an insanely ill-tempered, angry Scottish American revolutionary pilot blowing up your fucking harbor.
Nice.
He went to Whitehaven, England, which was the largest naval port. So that's where like pretty much like their ships were built. And he went into that thing, and he is absolutely just remember the first Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Okay. And holy shit of a fucking movie, am I right? Like
Right.
the only other movie that comes just as subtly sexually charged by pretty much the entire cast is The Mummy. Like those two movies,
Yes.
dude.
Well, it's funny because the whole time, like, I've been thinking of Pirates of the Caribbean because, like, you know, they whipped the dog shit out of the English Navy too in that movie.
I would not be
that's
surprised.
what I'm picturing.
I would not be surprised if at some point, like, it's revealed that, like, oh, yeah, no, when we wrote Captain Jack Sparrow, we thought of, like, John Paul Jones and Keith Richards. If they had a baby, what would it be? Fucking Captain Jack Sparrow. That's what it would be. Like, anywho, but, so, like, remember in the scene at the very beginning of the movie where the Black Pearl is just in the middle of, Port Royal?
Yeah.
And it's just opening up both sides?
Yeah.
That's what this fucking guy did. He sailed into the middle of the biggest harbor, and he's just unleashing hell. A sole ship. He didn't take his armada. He went in himself because he figured one ship can move a lot faster than the rest. His own ship and crew went in and destroyed the biggest port that they had. They were setting fires to the ships that were being built, that were built. It was really late at night, so like there was no one. Everyone was either sleeping or just like on guard. They're like, okay, it's our home turf. Who's going to be crazy enough? Like, no one would dare invade us and do anything like that and come all the way across this. It's completely out. Yeah, try to listen to fucking John Paul Jones. Okay, he's not going to fucking listen to you. That doesn't even
Nobody
suffer.
telling that man nothing.
Exactly. They mama didn't read too good. He doesn't suffer one casualty, not a scratch. He burns about half of it to the ground because he knows, like I said, because he spent time out there. He's raided them so many times, and some of the people defected there. He knew like where like the ammo houses were, so he specifically targeted like the powder rooms and like the powder warehouses and shit like that. And blew them to oblivion off the rip. Was sinking the ships, lighting the ships on fire. They were literally jumping off like little like fucking fire ants and burning the ships down in the port. And then just like on their merry old way, and they started singing, "Way, hey, up, she's rising." They're literally sailing out of actual hell and singing like,
Sea shanties.
Exactly. They're singing. They wrote "Drunken Sailor." What do you do with a drunken sailor? Simple. You fucking put him in charge. You go fuck up the British. That's what you do with a drunken sailor.
Exactly.
Fucking hysterical. And then if that couldn't have made him infamous and badass enough and give him the largest sack imaginable, the battle between his flagship but I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. The USS Bonhomme, Bonhomme, Bonhomme Richard, and the HMS Serapis. The only way to describe the battle between these fleets, these ships, however it goes, it was hell on the open seas. It was chaos. It was an incredibly intense battle. I think it was after one of their raids as they were sailing back to the U.S. The HMS Serapis catches up with them and in open water, engages them. They turn to fight, broadsiding each other, all this other kind of fun stuff. There's explosions, there's bodies everywhere. John Paul Jones is getting the fucking boots. He's getting his ass kicked. He's pretty sure this is it. If I'm going down, I'm going down in the blazest of glories ever.
I can respect that. Don't die with a clean sword.
Literally a blaze of glory. His ship is on fire. That second picture I sent, if you look in the back, his ship is on fire. It is actively sinking. Half his crew is dead. And he was like, well, this is it, but I ain't going down like no bitch. And the British captain calls out to him. So this is the actual responses. The British captain pretty much calls. I can only imagine they say that the British captain calls this out. So I'm just picturing, what is your name? What is your name? You know that meme? That's all I'm picturing between these two fucking assholes. No. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these bombs and, like, explosions and shit going on. What's your name? Terry! Fuck you, Terry! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Like, that's what I'm picturing, right? But anyway. Like, you're just picturing, what's your name? John Paul! John Paul! No, John Paul Jones! Oh, Derby, sorry, we're looking for John Paul! You know what I mean?
You know what I did about that fire over there? Don't bring my mother into this.
You better bring my mother in this! Anyhow, the British captain calls out, have you struck your colors? Meaning like, oi, you fucking quit? To which John Paul Jones responds, and I quote,
suck it.
I'm paraphrasing. That's what he meant. Strike my colors? I have not yet begun to fight.
Ah.
I love it. That's a great line. He goes, yo, you give up? Bitch, I'm just getting started here. What are you talking about? Now, his inferno of a flagship. Hard to port. Makes a beeline for the fucking British vessel. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to crash into him. He's the originator of the kamikaze, kind of, right? Well, as they do it, he now then starts to spin the ship the other way. Hopefully just kind of like catch it and broadside it. So he was like, if we're going down like goddamn men. We're going to take our burning ship. We're going to make it look like we're going. So they're going to try to like move out of our way. But really, then we're going to turn to get parallel with them. We're going to jump onto their ship. And we're just, hand-to-hand combat for that. So now it's no longer ship to ship. It's man-to-man on the deck of the British ship. Well, it works pretty damn well for him. I said, so they are now, not only are they attached on that one, he then ordered his men to then, like, what was left of the men to not only just, okay, jump on and start killing everybody, but jump on and tie our ship to their ship. So it's like, listen, one of us goes down, both of us go down. The only way you guys don't go down is if you kill all of us, because you're stuck. We literally just tied our burning, sinking ship to your ship. They hit with such force, and just the way that they perfectly hit, they actually kind of like wedged their ship a little bit out of the water and like kind of onto theirs. So like technically they had a little bit, they had the high ground. It was over, Anakin. But that being said, some of so a typical like British galleon or American galleon at the time, so on and so forth, it's about 2 to 3 levels, and each one was loaded with cannons. The now bottom one is now where like the second one should be. The second one is where the first one should be, and the first one is now where the open fucking deck is. He still orders his men, hey, don't stop firing till they're all dead. But sir, what if we hit you? You fucking heard me. He gave the order to still fire the cannons and just obliterate the ship. Who gives a shit if we're on there? We're all dead anyway. So they are now using deck cannons to target single men on the deck of the British ship, and they're just launching full-blown fucking cannonballs at these guys.
God.
Which is the equivalent of using like RPG in like hand-to-hand close-quarter combat. Like they are clearing rooms with like artillery.
Right. Holy shit.
Spoiler alert. It worked, and they won. And they took that ship over. The British surrendered.
Nice.
Yeah, that was like his last like big, huge battle. With that one, literally by the time he's done with that, he sails back. He gets back in enough time to now use what's left of that pretty much completely shot to ship British vessel. They show up back to, they get like urgent messages, whatever the hell, they go back to, I think up to like Philadelphia or something like that one. They were like, hey, a bunch of shit's popping off in the south. You should go there. No rest. Tells the men, get back on the ship. Grab booze, grab ammo, grab food. We got to go down to Yorktown, and literally help support the French as they're preventing General Cornwallis from his retreat in Yorktown.
Jesus.
Doesn't even get off to take a piss. He just goes from that battle immediately to bolster the ranks down there. And then, and only then, was he able to take a bit of a rest.
You know, when I hear, like, okay, I'm going to take a little side detour here.
Okay.
When I hear of, like, these historical events, and they're like, okay, so they're over in British land, in that part of Europe. We're all the way the fuck across the ocean in America. And, like, so by the time they get a message, I mean, that's got to be like a month old at that time. So they're dealing with month-old information. Then they've got to, it probably takes a month to sail back. Like, they're constantly...
No, at that point. So when he got over to there, he got the messages from Philadelphia. They was just down in, in the Carolinas. So, a couple of days.
Oh, okay. So they're back. They're... Okay.
Yeah, so once that fight happened in the open ocean. So they're probably at the farthest away. They were probably halfway, if not 2/3 of the way across the Atlantic.
Like, how do they even find them in the middle of the ocean to get messages to them? Like, it always blows my mind. Like, how is this information? Because it's not like they have a tracker. And, the ocean is fucking big. Like, how do they even find them to know where they are, to get the information to them, to say, hey, you need to double back? Like, it just blows my mind. Like,
sailing and wayfinding. So they had, like, typical, like, trade routes and trade routes, how it goes. And you'll follow the different constellations and the stars. So they knew that, like, the ocean is fucking huge. Massive. But, there's, okay, so the trade routes, the route that we take, our secret routes that we know are our ships and 99% of the time are friendly, is going to follow these constellations at these coordinates, at these degrees, and so on and so forth. So they would literally just use the stars. It's like, okay, so, take Orion's belt over the Sagittarius, and then from Sagittarius, you're going to go down to the Big Dipper. If you reach Pisces, you've gone too far. You know what I mean? Turn back around.
Yeah.
So they literally would just use the stars. And, I don't know if that's actually what they called the different constellations, but they would use that, so they know it's okay. So within this one, that one, if when we wake up, if the different constellations or the different areas are at the other part, are at this part of the ship, we're facing the wrong way, we need to adjust course and all.
See, so I'd get so fucking lost. I would not be, no, I get lost going from one end of the house to the other. Like, no.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like a boomer here, but it's because technology has made lives easier, so we don't have to kind of rely on the information and the knowledge and the technology that they did back then. So, like, you needed to fucking know how to read the stars because you, like I said earlier, as a joke, it was like they didn't have GPS. They didn't have, like, navigational. They had charts, but they had paper and a compass and crossed fucking fingers.
I guess what I'm saying is, like, the speed of information was so slow, and they were constantly dealing with, like, old information. So, like, by the time he got that message, there was all kinds of stuff could have popped off wherever they were telling him to go. It just always, like, And I know, like, like it obviously worked out, throughout history and all that, but it just blows my mind about like how they operated with such slow information and slow transportation, and it like still all worked out.
George Washington was essentially the supreme commander of the colonial forces in the Revolution, and so I forget if it was like how he acted. I forgot the way he put it all. George Washington Lee, whatever the hell, proper sounding and shit. But it was more or less like, exactly, when you get information, when shit gets dispatched to you, like, you're working off pretty old information here. So the best way to prepare for it is expect that the worst case scenario happened. By the time you show up, you're the only one left.
Yeah.
And that's what, so prepare for that. So when you show up and you're not the only one left, we can adjust the plans accordingly. So he knew that, like, okay, I'm getting my ass kicked to, we're giving the boots to the British today. But, like you said, okay, it's going to take 3 or 4 days for it to get there. They got to get through the lines and all sort of kind of shit like that. Well, by the time anyone even shows up, if someone leaves there, we're talking at least a week. A lot of shit can happen in a week. So he was like, when you get messages, whatever they say, like, expect the worst case scenario. Expect almost the opposite of what I say.
Yeah.
And plan ahead for that. So if it means, okay, we've routed the British, their forces are, we've killed 400 of them, we've only lost 200. He needs them to read that as like, we've killed 200 of theirs, we've just lost like 1,000 of ours. When you get here, be ready to fight. Get ready for it. Mm-hmm. So they all just kind of operated off of that. So they were always ready for like that intense, just that intensity. So they were always just like kind of prepared for it. I guess in modern day standards that's called having severe anxiety, but I guess maybe back then it's called battle tactics. Who knows?
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not mentally disturbed. I'm not mentally disturbed. I'm just a 16th century war leader, that's all. Or what, an 18th century fucking general, that's all. Whatever century they were in. Yeah. George Washington would fucking love me. He probably wouldn't. He'd probably despise every single goddamn fiber of my being, but I digress. Technically, it's his fault. Anyhow. Yeah, he lives the rest of his days of the war. After the Battle of Yorktown and the surrender of General Cornwallis there, just being a fucking menace to the British. Never really took days off. I get to shoot shit. I get to shoot the British. He goes, yeah, dude, just let me fucking
cook.
Be.
Yeah.
Just let me be. Now, we're also not going to talk about some of the war crimes that he possibly, but 1,000,000% did commit. But, hey, it was war, baby. It happens.
Oh, now I'm curious.
Poisoning water supplies, burning whole cities, and then all that kind of shit.
Okay.
It is pirate taxes, so it's like, even back then, they weren't, there was no Geneva Convention yet, but there still was what they called the conduction of gentlemen. To be structured warfare, there still had to be, surrendering troops who were supposed to be, they're supposed to be given quarter and aid. What the hell is it? Specifically for the British, if there was like civilians who were aiding, if there was like civilians who were just like aiding troops on either side or so on and so forth, if they were even remotely aiding the colonials, they needed to just be seen as people doing the right thing. They didn't have to necessarily be helping the British. They were just helping wounded people. They were supposed to be left untouched. They're not necessarily, just because they're tending the wounds of the enemy doesn't mean they're inherently bad people. If anything, it means they're just decent people.
Right. Okay.
So there still was supposed to be law and order. You weren't supposed to. Officers aren't supposed to be treated any different than any. So like you're not supposed to like target the. You're not supposed to target the officers. If an officer dies. But like. He was like, nope, fuck that noise, because if you kill the officers first, the rest of them don't know what to do. Kill the fucking officers first.
Yeah.
So technically that was labeled a war crime back then.
Okay.
Because exactly that, because of just the way that the militaries were then, was exactly like if you got rid of like the sergeants, the generals, you started taking off the officers, like all the grunts like lose their fucking mind, and it all falls into chaos. There's no one to keep the kids together. He didn't give a shit. He says, no, this is how you identify these are the officers. He goes, yeah, treat them with extreme prejudice. They are first. Kill them first, because then everyone else loses their minds. And trust me, they're a lot easier to kill when they're panicking. Yeah, he would poison water supplies. So yeah, he would make water like undrinkable. He would actually like, as they were like leaving the ports, he would actually dump some of the dead bodies like in the wells and in the reservoirs and shit like that to like poison the water. That's just kind of universally frowned upon. There wasn't a whole lot of them, but there still were like technically some innocent people. There like still were like some innocents and civilians that lived in the ports that he would attack and raid. But then also, if you're doing that, if you are, another one is you weren't allowed to like fuck with supply lines of like actual supplies like food and water and medicine. If you come across one, you were not allowed to take all of the supplies. You could take half. It was literally like respected. You caught us. You're allowed some, but you can't take everything. Like people still need food and water, and if you did that, it was seen as torturing the enemy. And so you're not supposed to torture. You're supposed to just kill the enemy.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. I almost feel like we need to bring back some of the things from back then.
Yeah.
Even though technically all this stuff is the Geneva Conventions, but no one gives a fuck about it anymore. Some countries it's the Geneva Suggestions, and like some countries like it's a fucking shopping list.
Right.
But, yeah, it was just war was conducted very, very differently then. But if you couldn't tell, John Paul Jones kind of didn't give a shit. He kind of didn't give a shit. I'm just very curious of why he hated the British. And all it seems like the man had a deep hatred.
Well, I think, if you're a Scotsman, I mean, there is that inherent deep hatred of the British because of, all the political stuff and, the Jacobites and,
there is still that.
All of that. I mean, even to the point where, and you've seen the clips where, the Irish and the Scottish will put their hands in their pockets when they meet the royals.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was actually I think that was around that time too, where it was like you're supposed to like your hands out and salute and bow, so kind of function. Anyone with their hands in their pockets will be shot on sight. So yeah, to this day,
it's
just a part of their culture where they just keep their hands in their pockets. And what's nuts is that like they know that and they respect that because it's a part of their culture. I'll never forget. I think it was the clip that you sent me that one time. There's that one of
Cillian Murphy did that.
Cillian Murphy, and what's his name? The other Barry, whatever the shit his name is. But he was also in Dunkirk. So yeah, they're there because they are both Irishmen. It's just a part of their culture now. Your hands in your pockets when the royals are by, and there was one time where like when that video was first surfacing. He was on like the Colbert Report or something. He was on one of the talk shows or one of the Jimmys or something like that, right? And they were asking him about it, and he just kind of explained it, and he goes like, it's just, which I forgot what he said. He goes like, for conversations we've had, they're lovely people. Like they're not bad people. It's nothing personal. He goes, it's just, it's just what we do. It's our thing. He goes like, are they lovely people? He goes, yeah. Are they nice people? He goes, yes. He goes, yeah. But am I a respectful person? He goes, yeah. He goes, but I'm an Irishman first, and that's just what we do.
Right. So like, it doesn't surprise me that he had this deep, seated. I mean, it's like it's a deep cultural thing where they, even to this day, there's like this. There's that undercurrent of like, you guys really fucked us over and we're never going to forget it.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, I can understand why he had, like this hatred.
I'm just saying this though. If like the rules were reversed and like the British like a deep hatred toward the Scots, I'm pretty sure it was because of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty sure it's because of this guy. Like, this guy makes William Wallace look like the fucking Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
fighting for, like, the Scottish independence from the English. Like, this guy was fucking unhinged. He was a goddamn attack dog for, like, no reason.
No, that's great.
Yeah,
And it's-
the other thing I think is a bit pretty cool with this one, too.
Yeah.
I forgot to write down what he died of or how he died or whatever. But in 1792, John Paul Jones dies. He's buried in an unmarked grave in Paris. He's buried with his uniform and his weaponry. He's buried with all of his stuff. So it's not like he was
Paris?
just like, it's just where he lived. He liked it over there. He made a lot of friends over there. Made a lot of friends.
Okay.
And he was just buried in an unmarked grave in Paris with, like I said, with all of his stuff. So it was actually shown that when his body was discovered, there was like care. It's not like, oh, yep, just thump him on in. It's not like it was like a mass grave or anything like that. They just, okay, this is him. Now, whether something happened to the tombstone or whatever, work was being done like 100-ish years later, like actually like in almost in 1900, like the early 1900s, I want to say. They're developing that area, and they stumble across a whole bunch of human remains, and they're all like, man, I'm pretty sure that's that fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
And because they found out with his sword and with all of his stuff. Because, we're talking the 1900s, they couldn't just like, oh, take a DNA sample. Yeah, quick question, yeah. What the fuck's DNA?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, nowadays, it's just like, oh, that's a bone. They could tell you the last time that guy shat and what was in it, like, just by, like, scraping a little bit of your skull, for crying out loud, which still blows my goddamn mind. It makes more sense how the hell they were able to navigate across the world back then with, like, a compass in the sun, even at night, than it does of like, oh yeah, no, that's all this stuff about a skull. What'd you do? Oh, we just scraped it and put it in this machine. Yeah, no, the fuck you did. Fuck you, Poindexter. That doesn't make sense. No, you didn't. Anywho, yes, they found out like who that was. Hey, that's that guy who like fucked up the Brits and all sorts of shit, right? He goes, yeah. You think America wants him back? I don't know. Let's ask him. Yo, America, you want your sea goblin back? Absolutely. You actually have no idea. We've been looking for like 110 years for our sea goblin. May we have him back? And that big fancy tomb was made for him, and he's actually buried at the Naval Academy in Annapolis now.
Oh, nice.
And that's one of
Okay.
like the big statues right there, and it has strike my colors. I have not yet begun to fight. It's like he is like the god of the Navy. This man, if he couldn't tell.
Yeah. I mean, and rightfully so.
Yeah. He was like the first, like I said, he was like one of the, there was like the first class of like American naval officers. He was, of like the first like dozen of them or so.
Yeah.
He was definitely the most famous one.
So after like America became a country, America, did he, and you may not know this, I guess it's just a general question, but I wonder, did he ever call himself an American, or did he hang on to his, Scottish identity? Was he always a Scotsman?
He was a free man. That's
He
what he
was a
said.
free
He was a
man.
free man.
Okay.
He didn't fly. He only, he said he flew no flag. He flew no flag except the one that treated him the best, kind of a thing.
Okay.
And because actually after the war, so many other countries tried to hire him, and he just wouldn't, because he was like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, what's her name? Russia. Catherine of Russia.
Okay, Catherine the Great?
Catherine the Great. Thank you very much. Yeah. She tried hiring him, and he was just like, how about this? Let me motorboat them things, and I'll think about it. So, like, there is no confirmation nor denial. They can neither confirm nor deny that some freaky shit happened between the two of them. All I know is that, like, she tried to, like, hire him, like, hey, do me a favor, yeah, kill people for Russia, and he was like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill that ass, but, like, I'm not gonna go kill their asses, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So many other countries tried to hire him. And does that mean he lived a life of peace? Absolutely not. But
Oh, I'm sure. Like, well, and he had, he had made all these friends from, his former life where he was, causing trouble and freeing slaves, and so I would imagine you would get to a point, especially like if he died of an old age, that there has to be a time where you're just kind of like, I've seen enough shit in my life that I'm just kind of done with it. I'm sure he probably still was like, I don't think you can take the rebel rousing out of somebody like that.
yeah, no.
But I think he probably got to a point where he
not.
just was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with it.
I doubt it. I doubt it. He sounds like he's one of the first examples of Lemmy from Motorhead, of just like living like the most rock and roll fucking life ever. Like,
Yeah.
I think I told you that before. Like, Lemmy was like really, really old and like sick and like dying and shit because he lived, like, he was the physical embodiment of the words rock and roll.
Yeah.
So he goes for a checkup one time. His doctor's like, "Well, your heart's bad. This is bad. Your that's bad. This and you got to change all your, you have to change all your health habits." And this son of a bitch apparently looks his doctor dead in the eye and says, "All right, doc, how about this? I'll switch from dark liquor to clear liquor except for Jack Daniels. I'll stop doing like pills and a bunch of other drugs. I'll just smoke weed and do cocaine a little bit. I'll stop having sex with a lot of women at one time. I'll have sex with just one woman, and I'll use more toys. How does that sound, doc?" And the doctor was like, "Why did I even think that this was going to go any other way?"
Right.
Right. So I'm pretty sure that John Paul Jones was the exact same way, but just like, okay, so instead of beheading them, I'll just stab them. Instead of using my cannons in open combat, we'll just use muskets. Instead of poisoning the water supply, we'll just drown people. Does that sound good? Like, how about that? Like, he was just so violent. But like,
Yeah.
like justified. He was like justified. He almost borderline justifiable genocide, if you think about it. Like, the mass scale.
Well, and I don't know. I just think that, when you're like, war is not pretty, and I don't understand like some of these, like the gentlemanly rules of engagement, especially way back in the day. Like, it just never made sense to me. Like, if you have an enemy, you have to kill that enemy. You have to take that enemy, and you have to take out anything that could possibly spawn from you killing that enemy. Like,
Exactly.
all is fair in love and war.
Exactly. But like, there was a couple of things that you can make the argument for that. Okay, that's a legitimate thing. Like, one, leave the civilians alone.
Yeah, leave the civilians alone. Yeah.
Leave them alone, and
but
you
I'm like,
can't
you
can't
don't
hold them, and you can't hold them accountable, or treat them as like spies or traitors or whatever the hell it is, just because they are tending to the wounded. You know what I mean?
Now that I agree with, but like, I'm talking about like the thing like where you don't harm an officer. The fuck?
Yeah.
No,
they didn't say. Okay, so they didn't say don't harm the officers. You just can't treat them any. Don't go out of your way to make sure all the officers die. Like, if they die, they die. But like, if you specifically target them in an engagement, oh yeah, no, you're
makes no sense whatsoever. It makes more sense to be like,
you are barking up the most correct tree right now. Absolutely.
Those are the people that you should be targeting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if anything, they're easier to, because they have stupider fucking hats and it's very easy to see them. Like,
Yes.
into the chaos. They run away.
Don't go for the guy on the little drum. You know, like go to the guy on the
drum. He just lost. He could be going to. He could be going to welcome the new Messiah with all that other shit. Insert little drummer boy joke there. You don't know. Leave him alone. But the guy with like the big fucking dumb hat and coat and buttons.
Yeah, with the big feather and the
Fuck that guy in his rural British country asshole.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that horse shit, man. Yeah, no, absolutely kill them first.
And
as for like the food and the
out
water,
of them.
yeah, like the food and the water, the meds, things like that. When it goes, yeah, but guess what? I'm taking all of this. You know what? I won't kill you. How about you can keep the cart, but I'm taking everything from the cart. And they're like, no, you're not. He goes, well, I could just fucking kill you. How about that? But no, we don't like that. Too late. Bang. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of here, bud.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I just. Oh man. Oh yeah. This was another one that I forgot to put in there because I forgot like the timing of it. During one of his raids, like his like flag was like essentially like his flag was lost, and if you showed up and you didn't have the right paperwork or the right if you didn't show up and you're just like an unmarked ship and you with certain goods that are clearly stolen or whatever, you can and will be tried as a pirate. So he quickly told, I think he was like in Belgium at this time when this was happening. So he quickly tells the harbor master there, like, hey, this is what the flag like looks like. Like this is like he kind of like describes like, hey, this is what the American flag looks like. With the the fucking stars in the circle and the stripes, like the original 13 colonies flag, right?
Yeah.
And whatever the hell it was, and they made him one like so fucking fast. They literally made him one within like a couple of hours. So like by the time the dock officials got there, they're like, yeah, look, here's their flag. There was something wrong with it. Here you go. Here's their flag. They're Americans. Oh, okay, yeah, you're good. You are not a pirate. Like you're free to go.
It had to be so fucking easy to forge stuff back then too. Like how are you going to authenticate it?
The man literally hid from the British. He hid from the British fucking Empire by just saying, "No,
another name.
I'm not John Paul. I'm John Paul Jones." That's the original. I bet you any amount of money in both my left nuts that's where George Lucas got the. No, he's not Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's just Ben Kenobi.
Kenobi. Yeah.
Yeah. Great changing your fucking name there, dingus. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
You're looking for somebody with two first names. I have two first names and a last name. Different person. Totally different person.
Completely. You're right. You're absolutely right. We are looking for a Scottish man hiding out in the USA. We're looking for a Scottish man hiding out here in the colonies. His name is John Paul. You're a Scottish man here in the U.S. called John Paul Jones. He goes, yeah, it's not me, bud. Sorry for the interruption. Have a lovely day. Tea and crumpets. Like, the fuck? Come on, man.
He had them Clark Kent glasses on.
He had them. No, he just threw his bagpipes and grabbed like a fucking like tea saucer and some biscuits.
Yeah.
Like, oh, proper right, so one of us, lad, eh? A bit sausages. Oh, God, Chris is going to fucking yell at me for all this bullshit at the end of this episode, huh?
Maybe. I think he would agree, though.
Yeah, right? Oh, here's another real fun one.
Yes.
Picture this. Whitehaven in the, UK? Whatever the fuck they're called now? Yeah, picture this. 1999, UK. The town he fucking decimated, Whitehaven.
Yeah.
They gave him a full pardon in 1999.
Whoa.
They gave him a pardon.
Why?
Because of the size of his gigantic scrotum, that's why. 'Tis the biggest scrotum they done ever did see.
I mean, but why? Like, why would you? That's like, no.
They gotta respect game. Game respects game.
I
That's
guess
what it was.
game,
They're like, listen,
maybe it
we
was some
sucked.
kind of like, I don't know, but like
we
that would
suck.
be
We
the
had a lot of
equivalent
slaves. He was catching us on our bullshit.
Yeah.
That would be like us giving like Al Qaeda like a fucking pass for 9/11. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, or I was
pretty
thinking
fucked
of like Pearl Harbor. Let's like us just like forgiving what happened in Pearl Harbor.
Oh no, we forgave. We forgave the Japanese what happened in Pearl Harbor.
We
didn't fucking forget.
gave.
We gave twice.
We gave.
Oh
But
my
like
Jesus! Oh my God! All right.
I really
saw
thought
this-
you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say like they erected a statue or something of him.
No, that would have been fucking awesome though. That'd have been the coolest fucking shit. Yeah. So this has been Kyle and Angie of the Silly Goose Society. Because it isn't until right now that I realized I didn't say hi. Welcome back. I'm Kyle. This is Angie from the Silly Goose Society. Anywho.
Yeah, you know what? At this point, if they don't know our names,
Get fucked, mate.
yeah, like yeah.
Anywho, Kyle and Angie, Silly Goose Society, reminding you, stay weird, stay dangerous, stay silly, and if your ship is sinking and on fire, you have not yet begun to fight.
Yes.
Honk!
Honk.